I got so much motherfucking design on right now.
Break it down, bring it down, make it clap. Got a 3 old thoughts, new block, put it at down, bitches in the line.
Our group contains 3 members, which is Nur SAFINA, Muhammad ANUAR, Nurul Adilla binti Mansor, and RAIHANNA binti HAMZAH. The general concept of BEM and EM regulates Malaysian engineering profession through a codes and regulation of professional conduct. BEM manages engineer registration and licensing, outlining ethical principles in its code. IEM complement BEM, promoting professional growth, collaboration, and sustainable engineering. BEM and IEM collaborate to update codes, ensuring alignment with a technological and industry change. Adherence to these rules foster a culture of quality, responsibility, and a public trust in Malaysian engineering.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurul Adilla binti Mansor. My matrix number is 201151432. The first case study in the section 1 is Chamoli electrocution incident due to lax electrical safety measures. The tragic electrocution incident at the Gopushwa Sewage Treatment Plant STP in Uttarakhand on July 19, 2023 have claimed 16 lives and left 12 injured due to the lax electrical safety standard. District Magistrate Abhishek Tripathi explicitly pointed to engineering negligence as the root cause, revealing that 2 firms responsible for the operating and maintaining treatment plant, Jai Bushnell Malik Contractors and Confident Engineering India, they failed to uphold essential safety protocols. As a result, Tripathi recommended in his report that both companies should be blacklisted. There are 2 main reasons for Chamoli electrocution, which are improper earthing system and also non-installation of MCCB. Then, there was no proper monitoring of the joint ventures company's work and lack of coordination between water and power supplies. Besides, by not complying with electrical supply safety standard and not deploying adequate personnel at STP, joint venture violated its agreement contract with Jalsinggam and Jalsanten. Besides, Bhaskar Mahajan, which is the director of Axis Power Control, was not an authorized person for the joint venture company, but he is still involved in the STP, which can compromise quality and lead to severe consequences. Then, departmental action should be taken concerned officials of Jalsanten who failed to monitor the company's work appropriately and clear suspicious spills. Based on the information provided in the case study, it appears that there are several instances where the conduct of the involved parties may be in violation of Part 4 Code of Conduct in Registration of Engineers Regulations 1990, revised 2015. In the context of case study 1, first of all is Regulation 23, which is conduct of registered person. Every registered person shall conduct himself honorably, responsibly, ethically, and lawfully. The case study reveals potential issues related to the lax electrical safety standard, unauthorized personnel involvement, and also financial irregularities. This factor could be perceived as not conducting activity honorably. The incident resulting from lax safety standard suggests a failure to act responsibly in ensuring the safety of the sewage treatment plant. Next is Regulation 24, which is responsibility to employer, client, or profession. The report mentions improper earthing system and non-installation of MCCB, which shows there are indications of lack electrical safety standard. This could be seen as a failure to discharge of professional duties with due skill. The tragic incident resulting in 16 deaths and also 12 injuries resulting from lax electrical safety standard indicates a failure to hold paramount the safety, health, and also interest of the public. Lack of coordination between water and power supplier and improper monitoring may indicate a failure to take reasonable steps to reduce foreseeable adverse effect of professional engineering service on the environment. Next is Regulation 25, which is discharge of duties with fidelity. The tragedy suggests a failure to discharge duties with fidelity to the employer or client, as the lax safety measures indicate a lack commitment to ensure the safety and well-being of the public. Last but not least is Regulation 23, which is a registered engineer or an ECP is not intervene or take over the work of another. The case study suggests a potential violation of Regulation 23 due to the involvement of unauthorized personnel, particularly Bhaskar Mahajan, a director of Axis Power Controls, who was not an authorized person for the joint venture company, but he is still involved in the sewage treatment plant work.
I would like to present Section 2 and Section 3 for case study number 2. For Section 2, case study number 2, about the businessman cries after being fined 20,000 ringgit for bribing TNB engineer. Okay, in this case study, two parties were involved, which are the TNB engineer, aged 31 years old, and Ng Yin Hui, the businessman and owner of a plastic recycling center, aged 41 years old. So the incident overview is basically, there is a bribery scandal involving the TNB engineer and Ng Yin Hui. Ng faced charges for offering 8,000 ringgit in bribes. Purpose was to prevent the TNB engineer from cutting off electricity supply to Ng's premises. Alleged time frame November 2019 to November 2021. Okay. Charges and violations. Ng faced charges for bribing the TNB engineer to avoid repercussions for theft of electricity and meter tampering. Violations is under Section 3714 of the Electricity Supply Act 1990. To summarize, in this case, there was a purge of bribery involved between Ng Yin Hui and the TNB engineer. In the next section, we will be looking at two points of view. Basically, the point of view of engineer if he did accept the bribe and whether if he did not accept the bribe. What will be the ethical concern or ethical issue based on the regulation Part 4 Code of Conduct. Next is Section 3, Ethics in Engineering Profession for case study number 2. In this section, there will be 2 points of view that will be pointed out. For the first point of view is if the TNB engineer, did not accept the bribe. According to Regulations 23, Conduct of Registered Person, it emphasized on professional integrity. The TNB engineer's decision to resist bribery aligns with the Registration of Engineers Act 1967 and Registration of Engineers Regulations 1990, incorporating amendments up to 2015, particularly Part 4 Code of Conduct. This underscores importance of adhering to the Board of Engineers Malaysia, Part 4 Code of Conduct, emphasizing integrity, public safety, and legal compliance. The fundamental aspects of professional integrity. Professional integrity involves honesty, fairness, and transparency. Resisting bribery demonstrates commitment to maintaining professional integrity, responsibility, and ethical decisions. Refusal to accept bribe demonstrates the responsibility to the engineering profession, employer TNB, which is the employee TNB, and the public, aligns with PM Part 4 Code of Conduct, Principles of Integrity, Public Safety, and Legal Compliance. To summarize, if the TNB engineer did not accept the bribe, means it complies with the Regulation 23 Conduct of Registered Person. Okay, for the next point of view, violation of BEM Part 4 Code of Conduct. Accepting the bribe would constitute a clear violation of the BEM Part 4 Code of Conduct, which falls under the code's stipulation that a registered person must discharge duties to their employer or client with complete fidelity. Fidelity implies unwavering loyalty, faithfulness, and dedication to the interests of the employer or client. Requires engineer to prioritize professional obligations over personal gains. Conflict of interest. Accepting bribes introduces a conflict of interest, decision-making influenced by personal gain rather than professional obligations. Implications for the engineer and profession. If the engineer accepts the bribes, this could have serious implications for the engineer and the engineering profession. Departure from ethical standards outlined in the BEM Code of Conduct. In summary, accepting the bribe would signify a breach of fidelity and a departure from ethical standards, posing serious implications for the engineer and the engineering profession.
Next, case 3, a federal investigation into a fatal 2022 electrocution in Kansas City has shown that Midwest Engineering Service Company again failed to protect workers. On August 24, 2022, a tragedy struck a university academic when a worker lost his life due to electrocution during HVAC equipment installation. The responsible party, U.S. Engineering Service, failed to follow safety protocol, a grim repetition of a similar incident in July 2021. OSHA found failure de-energized equipment during repair, lack of hazard assessment for protective equipment, and authorization of defective extension cable. OSHA suggests the preventable tragedy could have been averted with a proper safety precaution. The penalty reflects the severity of violation and marking a company with a history of similar infraction. The clock is ticking for U.S. Engineering Service with a choice to make within a given complex period. OSHA also underlined the critical need for adherence to electrical safety rules to protect workers from harms. This part, we talk about Code of Conduct in Registration of Engineer Regulation 1990 in reverse 2015. For case 3, it involves two regulations, which is Regulation 23 and Regulation 24. First regulation is Regulation 23. Conduct of registered person should conduct himself honorably and responsibly, ethically, and fully. This case study exemplifies a corporation failing to uphold ethical standards marked by carelessness and dishonesty, leading to a tragic loss of life. Last regulation is Regulation 24, Responsibility to Employer, Client or Professional. This regulation is about the regulatory duty involved responsibility for the employer, client and professions. The troubling trend in U.S. engineering service industry revealed a disdain for employer concern and systemic failure to prioritize safety. This situation raised ethical concerns that emphasized the need for the robust regulatory compliance and enforcement to ensure the safety and well-being of all employees.